Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, November 27th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I listen to where I can allow my heart to help balance my mind's perspective. Happy birthday to me. Happy my birthday to you. And let's dig into this astro energy. Definitely an interesting day. Right at like 12 a.m. Pacific time, basically, we have the Sun-Mars trine going on. So we've been working our way into this. It's still working with the nodal energy. The nodes are right at the end of 4 degrees. So we still have this grand trine fire. And while this is happening at midnight, we're definitely going to be feeling the effects through the day still. So, keep checking in with your patients, but keep checking in, like, what is tuning you in, turning you on, exciting you, making you feel happy to be alive. When I was looking at the astro, one of my favorite songs popped into my head, and it's this song called Hailing by FC Kahuna, and the only lyric in the whole thing is, don't think about all the things you fear. Just be glad to be here. And as we're heading kind of into this dark of the moon energy, we're building to a new moon. We have the moon moving into Scorpio later in the day. We're kind of feeling some of the things that Scorpio can bring up. But we have to finish up the moon in Libra first, which I have to say, and I haven't mentioned this, but I've been feeling like the airhead, and I've seen other people feeling like the airhead in this energy. So if you've been a little bit more scattered between all the shifts that we've been going through and this moon in Libra, definitely some airhead energy. So just take it easy on yourself. We also still have that Uranus yod working its way through today. We have a Uranus yod. We also have a wide lunar yod as the moon finishes up in Libra. So again, it's like, try not to get too caught up in all the shenanigans that are happening out in the world, in your life, and see where you can funnel that creativity, funnel your gladness, see where you can connect into the beauty, and see where you need to bring yourself balance, especially if you're feeling the fiery aggro side of this grand trine fire. All right. Inner peace, but also where is the beauty that you can connect into? Where's the beauty and where's the hope? We'll get into that hope piece in a little bit. So as we have the day going on, Sun trine Mars will be dwindling from that today. Whew, thank goodness. We need a little break from that, but we are building to Venus squaring Chiron, and that's definitely an interesting energy because Venus in Capricorn wants to be esteemed, wants to be seen in its glory, and Chiron in Aries just wants to be who it is. And a lot of times those energies can kind of clash because a song popped into my head over the weekend because I don't think you're ready for this jelly, right? It's too bootylicious, because so many of us can be in our light, in our joy, but also in our feelings, in our emotions, or even our just truthful expression can be a lot for the world, right? The world still wants us to kind of follow some level of decorum, and we may be feeling that in this square with Venus in Capricorn. You should do this, you should be this way. The cards are saying, no way, Jose. Don't compromise yourself. So you may have some challenges. You may have some square energy, some weird feels with that building in and through the day. And that collides with the moon hanging out in Scorpio. So the moon's going to move into Scorpio at 4:20 p.m. Like I said, that Sun-Mars is kind of dwindling, and we may feel the void moon and that Mars, Sun-Mars dwindling, kind of feel a little bit like a little bit of a letdown, a little bit of an energy down kind of energy. Moon in Scorpio takes us into 12th house land. It takes us into the dark of the moon time, and it can have us facing our fears. It can have us facing our shadows. The first connection the moon is making is with Pluto, a square with Pluto, and this is the first Moon-Pluto event of Pluto in Aquarius. We're going to go through a lot of these. But events in the world, events in our community, anything may spike that survival. It may spike the fear energy. And that's where that song came in. Don't get caught up in all the things you fear. Can you find what you're grateful for? And lean into that. Lean into that energy. And maybe even be that light for others. The sharing card is asking us of that. But the Venus Chiron square, that's just going to kind of keep building. And it might bring up some of the things. Like even just the fear of being your full and joyful self. So I bring up hope because the Seasons of the Witch card is actually light. And it talks about hope. And I love this card for my birthday because I always really loved the story of Pandora's box. That Pandora let out like all the crazy things, but like hope. Hope was there too, right? And I think hope is something we need to lean into. And I think it's not leaning so much into hope for the past because we can't really change the past. We can learn from it. But hope and belief even more so, of the influence we can have on our own lives and the lives around us as we shine our light, as we step into our inner fire and the truth of who we are with no compromise, right? I'm going to read this. Let me show you the rest of the cards before I read this. So, good cards for my birthday. I'm kind of into these. Don't compromise yourself. Shine your light. You are a big, beautiful light in the world. And thank you for that. And the courage card is here too. Having the courage to love who you are, having the courage to love out loud, having the courage to, I don't know, bring forth the buoyant joyfulness that is in all of us. And you may not necessarily be feeling that buoyant joyfulness all day. I'm sorry. I want my birthday to be wonderful for everybody. I want you all to feel buoyant joyfulness. And I'm like, Moon in Scorpio, a little Uranus yod. Like, stay on your feet. I have tripped over everything today. I ran into a shelf. Just stay on your feet. Watch out for the Uranusisms, right? Stay grounded. But bring forth that big, buoyant, beautiful love energy. And I also have the celebration card. The celebration card is I get by with a little help from my friends. It's also hard times require furious dancing. And, moving through some of these energies may require a little dancing, a little movement to move them through. The next meaning all is you should be dancing. And until further notice, celebrate everything. So it's my birthday. Celebrate your life. Celebrate all the beauty that we're surrounded by in any given moment. So let's read hope because hope sounded nice. Hope, the return of the light. If there's one theme you should know about in Yule, it's light. The entire celebration of Yule is an honoring of faith that warmer days and lighter days will come. There's always light after darkness, and spring will always come after winter. No matter how difficult your situation, know that things can and will work out. Light is a dynamic card, and when you have drawn it, you can expect an increase in your energy. You're feeling more confident these days, likely to see an increase in your motivation and overall vitality. It's a nice little download that this Sun-Mars trine can leave us. This is a happy card, a positive sign of success. Pulling the light card is like getting a big yes from the universe. You can expect positive resolution when the card comes in a reading. By the way, this is on page 77, just saying. Additionally, pulling light is a sign of abundance, an increase in all areas of your life. You may see an increase in your finances. In love, this card is a positive sign of new love or, a renewal of love. You might receive a promising job offer, or clarity in a job change. Something positive is on its way when light shines in your reading. Look for the light and have hope for all of the goodness that the universe wants to bestow upon you. So, gonna leave that here. Gonna say I am not sure if I will be recording for Thursday. I might show up because, again, I love this. I love showing up with you guys. I love connecting with you all. We'll see. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are, for you are the light, and you are the solution. Namaste.